All
Yeah,
right.
this is gonna be a hodgepodge of confusion. I promise you.
Welcome to the movie description. I'm pretty sure if you look this movie up on the IMDb database, it's gonna say that's gonna be the description for Willy's Wonderland. Just a hodgepodge of confusion.
Oh man.
All right. Hey everybody, Car Dreamer here, coming at you on behalf of D Class Derailed. And today I have with me once again,
Demi-Human.
who, as you can tell by the way he said that, is not thrilled to be here for this one.
I don't know if I'd say I'm not thrilled. I got a lot on my mind right now.
Today we were doing a movie review, or I should say movie discussion, because I don't know how much reviewing is going to be done,
There's not gonna be a lot of reviewing done.
of the arguably the best, shittiest movie you will ever see. I mean, you're more than welcome to argue it, but then I question your life if you
Uh,
really want to compare notes on the worst movie. But
uh,
we are going to discuss Willy's Wonderland.
oh, how the discussion will be. This is gonna be well. Let's preface this by saying, from the beginning, I was very shocked to realize that this movie just came out. But then again, now that we think about the past year or so, it seems pretty fitting as to what other time it would be best for it to come out. So I guess it's confusing at first, and then when you continue to watch it, you're like, this is perfect for 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, this is the move. This is the movies as of COVID. This is what
Yes,
COVID has drove Hollywood to.
yes, 100%.
And what's more fitting is they see this was the best time to do it because not only did they get a washed up actor, they got him at COVID time. So he probably did it for like $5.
Oh, 100%. See, part of me, I was gonna say when I watched it, a part of me wanted to think that like maybe he had like slightly pure intentions in it. Maybe he decided to be like and I'm going to use this term very loosely. He decided to be the blockbuster actor. Well, no, blockbuster is actually very fitting considering Nicolas Cage, but they decided to use the blockbuster actor to highlight this type of movie that doesn't have a lot of basically no well-known actors, um, and a very loosely tied together storyline. With a, I think there was probably a bigger budget on the car than the rest of the movie.
This is fair. Would you say it was maybe a robotic performance?
You know what?
All
You
right,
know what?
all right. Let's start at the beginning. So, for those who don't know, this movie's loosely based on the premise of Five Nights at Freddy's. There's no other way to put it. That's what this
Yeah.
movie is based on. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you've ever played any of the Five Nights at Freddy's games, you know what this movie is about. For those who don't know, let me give you the short gist of this. Fade in. Some guy speeding on an empty road in a car that looks like it's from about the mid 90s. And he hits. He hits something. His tires go flat. Somehow, all four go flat, and he doesn't lose control of the car. I don't. And this happens right like shortly after coming around a curve. So I really don't know how he didn't lose control of the car.
Hey man,
Um,
like you just told me, you're thinking about it too much.
it's true. So out of the car is midlife crisis Nicolas Cage because there's no way his hair is that naturally colored and that beard could not have been. I'm sorry. They didn't even
Oh,
CGI in the beard, people. This was totally dollar store beard glued around his face. They did a better job removing Henry Cavill's mustache from Justice League than they added a beard.
Oh.
But basically, so in order to get the car fixed, he's asked to stay overnight at this rundown would-be wannabe Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
And clean it all up. If he cleans it all up, they'll fix the car for free. And obviously, it's all set up, whatever. So he does. He agrees silently. Nicolas Cage does not speak in this movie. Okay,
Not one time.
not once. He doesn't utter anything.
He has a full goulash and Rolodex of grunts that he goes through, but doesn't utter a single word.
Does he really even grunt? I think
No, he does.
the only real sound he makes is when he wipes, like after he chugs one of his soda/energy drinks, whatever they are. They're just called Pop Punch. It says Pop on the back in small font and just says Punch. And yet it's brown. It looks like cola. So I don't know what the frick this is, okay?
Yeah, no, nobody knows what this thing is.
I mean, it could be heroin in a bottle. It could be Coca-Cola's original recipe. We don't know. But the whole premise is these animatronics are going to come to life, and they kill anybody inside the building. And that's it. And he survived. And Nicolas Cage is supposed to be this badass who just really doesn't care. You would almost think he's, and I'm not trying to put down anything, there's something not all there. I'm not going to use the word in case somebody wants to sit there and get on me for not being PC, but anybody who knows me knows I'm not PC anyway.
That's true.
It's way too true. But
yeah, I agree actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, there's something not right with him in
he's
this movie.
not. But I think he recognizes he knows he's not right, and that's why he stays the loner. You can tell he's a loner. He doesn't care.
That's a fair point. I mean, but the other thing is, and this is sort of skipping ahead, but the idea that he just carries around this pop punch, and he just knows what to do with it.
Well, he doesn't carry it around. He doesn't carry it around. He had a case of it in his trunk, and when he realized he had to stay overnight at this place, he packed some. He took it with him so he could have it on his breaks. But let's discuss break time and how important it is to pace yourself at work. Because this man is dedicated to his break times. That was the best scene in the movie. Because, so I watched this movie the other week, and so did my brother and little CD, and we all discussed it, and we all kind of agree with I don't know what your favorite part of the movie is. But the best part for me, humor-wise or just fun-wise, is when he's about to save the girl who he's about to save the girl from one of the animatronics, and his watch goes off for break time, and he just looks at his watch, looks back at the animatronic, hands the girl the switchblade, and goes to take his break. And
Just
walks away. He just walks away like, you're on your own. Oh well, hold your own for 15 minutes. I'll be back. Doesn't say anything though. Just gives it to her and walks away. I die laughing.
That is the most main character, just I don't care attitude that I've ever seen in any movie in my entire life. In my entire life. Because then it made me question my own pure concept of time. Because I felt like at that point, after he came back and he drank the punch, he drank one. But it seemed like it lasted him throughout the entire rest of the end of the movie, which, when I think about it, seemed insane because I felt like,
He had multiples in the movie.
well, he had multiples in the movie, but like I thought, like at a certain point, I was almost counting the drinks, like the way that I was looking at him, I was almost counting them as like, oh, he needs one every time he's gonna kill one of these things. In my head, I'm just like, okay, like maybe that's what's going on because it seemed um, like he killed one, and then he went to the break room or wherever he was at, and then, well, so he decided he was just gonna be wherever he was. He decided to pull the pinball machine in there, which I thought was insane by
No,
itself.
pinball was already there. He
Was it
uncovered.
already in there?
It was already there. He uncovered it.
Okay, all right, never mind. So, but either way, so at least in my head, I'm thinking he's like he needs to drink one in order to be able to defeat these things. But then when he leaves the girl and then comes back, like he kills the rest of them off that one drink.
But he was drinking them before they even started attacking him. Like he was just drinking them. Like he had one before, like just waiting for the freaking tow truck. Like
That's
he
fair.
he and I think yeah. So he was consistent, but he only drank them on his break.
Yeah,
It's not like he popped it like he was Popeye and it was spinach. Although I would have laughed my ass off if they did that. I think we just found the niche for the sequel.
I feel like if he had done that, it would have made more sense in my head. But then the fact that like it would have because literally in my head I'm thinking like I wasn't thinking that far back, but in my head I'm thinking okay like this thing is giving him like whatever kind of like strength to be able to do whatever, and then he can defeat these things. And then when after the fact that like he just bulldozes through like three or four other ones after drinking that drink, I'm just like, there's no premise anymore. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening anymore. And I'm like, and my brain is short circuiting because I'm just like, what is he doing here? Like, what's going on?
He's getting his car fixed.
Like,
That's
I guess you're right.
the whole thing is just it, it's established from day, like from the moment he's in there, he doesn't care. Like he's focused. He cleans, and he is not scared of anything. Like,
No.
and I don't get it how like he's not normal because something has to scare you. You got an animatronic coming to life to kill you, and he's actually attacked by the first one, the ostrich, not that far in. And he doesn't even care. It's bad. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't do anything. The thing pecks at his cheek like, now what? Like the ostrich is calling him out, thinking like nobody is going like he's gonna go running scared. They're expecting. They're used to the animatronics are used to playing up the fear. They're used to living on the fear of the hunt and all that stuff. And so the ostrich like scratches his cheek like, now what, motherfucker? And Nicolas Cage just stares back like just like wipes his cheek, looks like he pulls a Thanos. He wipes his cheek like all that for a drop of blood. Breaks the broom over his knees and beats the shit out of the animatronic. It's just like Endgame if it was on a $5 budget or not Infinity War. That's what this scene is. Tony Stark versus Thanos right here. And he just beats the crap out of the animatronic, breaks it. And the thing is, he's not like freaking out like, oh my gosh. He beats the crap out of one and he leaves the rest alone like, you don't F with me, I'm not going to F with you. I don't care what you do. And he just goes about, he picks them up, he
Yeah.
puts them in the trash bags and continues cleaning. Even when the other, like, so these kids who want to burn the place down and realize Nicolas Cage is in there, tries to get them out, and it's not working because they don't, like, it's very slowly dawning on them that, well, like the girl says, he's not stuck in there with the animatronics. The animatronics are stuck in there with him. And it's funny, like they're all dying off left and right, and he doesn't care. He's like, as long as it's not in my way. I That's pretty much what it is. He doesn't care.
Uh,
He doesn't go to really almost any of their aid.
yeah, pretty much. Like,
You know, they're leaving him like scaring "I'm gonna kill you" notes all like in blood all over the mirrors, which I've yet to figure out where that blood came from anyway, when he's alone in there. Like, where are they getting this blood? But anyway, they're writing on the mirror in blood, "I'm gonna kill you." And he doesn't even bat an eye. He's just annoyed he's gotta clean it, and he cleans it.
literally, like just not concerned whatsoever. He's like, all right, whatever. Like in his head, I feel like he's just like, well, joke's on you because you're gonna die. Like, what? Like they don't even have blood.
No, it's oil, but it works. So if you still feel lost and confused, it's Nicolas Cage, an entire movie killing murderous animatronics in a rundown Chuck E. Cheese wannabe type of place.
Yep. And if you're even more confused, good. That should be your natural uh reaction to that. You should be confused. And if it
There
makes you feel any
are
better, you will be confused by the end of this movie. I promise you. You'll laugh 100%, but you'll be more confused.
Now there's intermittents of him playing pinball and dancing to it off rhythm to the music that the machine is playing. It's not even on rhythm. That even more boggled my mind. Like, okay, I understand you're just in a groove, you're doing good score wise, you're listening to the little jingle that music that's playing, but you're not even on rhythm with it.
Nope.
Like, I don't. He's just like, I got my energy drink, I got a pinball in the game, and I got the music in my head. It's all I need. I'm telling you, you can't even lock the man up. He'll think it's a 3-star hotel. Padded room,
That's
room
that's
service, music
concerning
in
to
his
me.
head. I'm
Nothing
telling you, I don't think he'd care. I don't think he'd care.
he wouldn't.
And this is pretty much the whole movie. You do find out the premise of the movie, or like the background history of the place, I should say. You find out why they're killer animatronics. Apparently, it was cult murderers who all were interested in killing families. They built a Chuck E. Cheese type of place to have families come in to kill them. That was the whole premise. Group of people said, I want to make money and I want to kill too, but I don't want to go anywhere to do either. How do we get them to come to us? Both things, the victims and the money. I know. Let's build a children's like would be Chuck E. Cheese, and we'll just give them cake, kill them. Sounds fair. So I mean, like, where do you go from there? That's what happens. Basically, the police were onto them. I'm like, oh no, we don't want to be caught. So they did this suicide ritual pact in the back and possessed the
The,
animatronics. And
the anim-
I feel bad for two of them because I'm pretty sure all the killers were guys that they showed. I could be
oh
wrong.
yeah, so then so then
Two
two
of
of
them,
them,
two of the animatronics were female though.
yeah.
I'm like, that's got to be really odd and weird. I don't know how like I don't know, like, did they argue about that as they were dying and then transcending? Like, no, I don't want to be that one. No, you be the girl. Like, can you see them fight it? Like, no, okay, we drew fingers. Okay, you got the kid's finger. I got the dad's. It's bigger. I win. I pick. They draw fingers because they killed everybody. I'm just saying.
Yeah, as opposed to straws, but it's not like at a place that's supposed to be for kids that they wouldn't have straws. They just decide to use fingers.
Um, yeah, I just
Oh my
the whole
god.
thing is funny. The whole thing is just like, and you find out the new owner, the old lady sheriff, and the tow guy are all in on this thing. Like, how
Oh,
small is your town when these are the three people that come together?
like this, and then what cracks me up is is the is the young cop who's like who's supposed to be like all high and mighty and it's like isn't it supposed to be like protect and serve uh like and all this stuff, like the second he finds out that these are like the reincarnations of like serial killers and that the whole town just has to deal with them, like he's just like he he just has to go with it, like that's it, like.
I don't understand. Here's what I don't get, because the old lady sheriff said that they tried to take them out and they failed.
Mhm.
And they couldn't call for backup because then they would sound like idiots. First of all, I call bullshit. I call shenanigans bullshit. The lady is obviously third stage dementia because I mean, you're telling me Nicolas Cage can use his bare hands and kill them all, rip the animatronic, like literally like breaks open the jaw of the alligator, reaches in and pulls out the animatronics box, but a shotgun, officers armed with shotguns can't take these things down. Does anybody else like thinking what the hell? It's already proven.
No,
The movie establishes they feel pain. Like the girl beats the guy or beats the one animatronic that kills the quote unquote good young officer. With I mean, the shotgun doesn't fire; it has no ammo. So she beats him with the shotgun, and enough to knock him out and injure him, and like really, really, like nearly bring this guy close to death. I didn't understand that, but these people with armed shotguns can't do anything.
well, they forgot one concept that I guess you must forget as you get older, but like as a but like as a I don't know a teenager, you seem to learn pretty quick. Is none of them aim for the balls? That's the problem. She aimed straight for the balls, man. Guy was down.
They're
She just
animatronics. How do you aim for? Oh no, she didn't. You're right. She did. She hit him in the butt. I don't
she
even
aimed for the
understand how that
balls.
worked. They
I don't
can't
either.
breathe. I don't. How? Oh my gosh! I forgot all about that. Now you're just making me question more. She did.
Exactly.
She
Exactly. You're
knocked the
supposed to
yeah.
question
She
more.
knocked the animatronic down on the ground in the street and hit it in the balls. Somehow that worked. That worked. Hit him right in
Who
the
knows
ball
how?
bearings.
Yeah, that's it. Like I don't how? Like what is going on?
Oh, it's like this is worse than Seed of Chucky. I don't.
It actually is. That's a very fair point.
I. So yeah, like now, like the second most promising scene is the blonde girl in that movie. Uh, uh I looked her up. She is cute as anything because I was curious who she was. Obviously, she's dressed down in this movie, but I was curious who she was. There's something about her. I looked her up. I'm happy with her. So that's all. I'll leave it at that.
Wait, the one who's having sex with the guy before she dies?
See, we tried to keep this family friendly, but yeah, the one who was getting it on right in front of the other animatronic, and the guy she was doing said, "Let him have a show," before he realized that it was alive. It was going to kill him.
Well,
The
I
other
feel
thing
like
I don't
that.
understand. Here's the other thing I don't understand. The ostrich I can get because it was somewhat of a beak, hard beak. But these other ones, I don't understand how they're actually. So I think it was the alligator or whatever. I forget that one of the alligators or was the armadillo or whatever. One of them killed, like the one that killed them, while at least the guy while they were doing it, like started eating away at his shoulder. I don't understand how that's even possible because their suits are rubber. You could tell that like it was rubber when Nicolas Cage was ripping them apart and hitting them, and you heard it squeaking, and you saw like it was rubber. How what is sharp enough to be doing this?
It doesn't matter. It's just it's the fact that they're evil. So everything that would normally make sense just doesn't.
It doesn't. So the only reason they're constantly killing is they lock the place up so they can't get out. Because apparently they used to get out and run around and kill other people, and they didn't. So the sheriff, wannabe old lady sheriff, didn't want to call for backup or call in the National Guard and say, "Hey, my animatronics are alive. Are alive. Could you please maybe come kill them for us?" Didn't want to call Ghostbusters. Uh, so they're like, so they make some weird deal. Hey, we'll bring you victims if you just leave the town alone. Seems kind of pointless if you're going to lock them in there anyway, because I don't know how they were going to get out to harm the town. But so they throw Nicolas Cage. Yeah, Nicolas Cage was the latest victim who obviously backfired. The old lady tries to apologize for the fact that Nick was beating the crap out of him. It's like, here, I got him at gunpoint. Come get him. Come meet him. Come do whatever you want to do. And instead of killing Nick Cage, they kill old lady sheriff. One swing ripped her right in half.
I was gonna say, can we talk about the way she died?
Yeah,
Like,
so literally, yeah, Willy just came out one swing with his bare hand and ripped her literally in half, like just knocked her off her waist. Somehow does not have the strength to do anything else after that. He's only got normal human strength that Nicolas Cage is able to overcome easily. But for her, yeah, let's rip her in half. And it
yeah, I
actually wasn't
was.
even a full-on attack. It was the ultimate pimp slap. That's really what it was, because he backhanded her. He did that whole backhanded and just one swing knocked her off.
That's just impressive.
I mean,
That's no
literally, he's
longer
like,
evil. That's just impressive.
right? He was like, bitch, please. Bam. I eat when I'm ready. That's what he said. So, yeah, Nicolas Cage patches himself up like twice in the movie. Puts a little piece of duct tape over his cheek from the ostrich. Bandages up his ribs with duct tape from the gorilla, which was the second one. And after that, he just doesn't need patching up. He's just like,
Nope.
fuck it. I got this shit when I'm not playing pinball or on a break. And he, like, so I don't know if you noticed, but the time, like, there are clearly more hours in this half day, or in this evening slash night, than are scientifically allotted for a 24-hour period. Because if you know, like, he went in there late, you might say late evening,
Mm.
because the sun was still up, so he had some sunlight. Kids were breaking in at night, but if you notice, half the time they're inside, there's daylight shining through in the building.
That is true. Unless the premise is that like that he literally spent like a full 24 hours in there. So like let's say he went there like late, like either like early evening or like late afternoon. If the premise is like he was there from that time and then they came back like exactly 24 hours later, then it would slightly make sense. Only a little bit, but it does definitely feel like he spent way longer in there than any person actually anticipated.
And all that, after all that, he doesn't care. He doesn't even say sorry to the girl for the death of her friends. And I'm still not even sure how the blonde got killed. Like, I know she was being chased, but you see nothing as far as really her being. I think she gets knocked into. She gets knocked away at one point, but nothing really. She doesn't really get hurt. Like, she's not maimed at all that you
Mm-mm.
see. He just goes to the room and she's dead, which is really disappointing. So, like, everybody dies. You got the one who's got a crush on the girl lead, who's absolutely stupid. I
How did
mean,
that thing manage to convince him to actually
he
get out?
because he is literally like Futurama Fry stupid.
That's hurtful.
That's fact.
I mean, yeah, but still, it's true. I mean, it is. It's absolutely true. I don't like. What,
You saw every one of them. You know the history that they're all killers. And she's like, I'm not one of them, trust me. Like, how do you think she got into the damn robot? How do you think she possessed it? By not being one of them. That just doesn't make sense, buddy. But no, that's okay. You just go on believing that for the next 30 seconds before you die.
yeah, man. Because he's just he's. I mean, we the the fact that he was like that he had like such a heavy interest in this girl already made me believe that he lived in a delusional world because there was clearly no type of indication that she felt the same way.
Oh no, she didn't give a flying crap.
Nah. And I think it was funny that they almost played um to the idea of of actually gratifying like a negative thing happening because most people are like, oh well, like there's like the guy said to him, he's just like um he's like, oh, just because you think you can kiss you can uh you can kiss it that she's gonna let you hit it, and he's like, it's just you're just gonna end up like getting killed for it. And I think in like most times people are like, oh well, like in a horror movie, hopefully they like come out of it alive and maybe some good comes out of it. But it's like no, literally because he was too nice and he was so naive and everything, he actually got killed for it.
I mean, props for realism. But,
True, true.
I mean, that's sad when that is the most realistic part of the movie.
They had to throw something realistic in there just to.
Can we? I mean, we really need to give Nicolas Cage props. Like he cleaned the hell out of that place. I mean, this man, I don't even know where he found all this stuff. Like they really kept the debt well stocked that he had all the access to all those rags, towels, a toothbrush. Where the frick did he get a toothbrush? I mean, but this guy cleaned top to bottom in every way. Like, guy, I gotta respect the man. The guy knows how to clean.
True. And then the extra little middle finger to the two guys was though I guess that wasn't necessarily intended. The fact that like they ended up dying uh at the end because the one still survived was a little bit of an icing on the cake because it was just like, oh well, he did all that work for them so he could get his car back. But even after that, like in their minds, they're like, oh, well, we can actually do something with this place, and then they die. So, though he didn't intend it,
They deserve
it
it.
happened. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we covered pretty much the gist of this movie. I mean, there really is not much to this movie. It
No.
literally is as mind-boggling as we say it is, but it was just fun to watch because it was just one of those like such a bad movie, but you don't care because you're just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Exactly. Like that's the best way to put it. And honestly, if you've got like an hour and a half and maybe a little extra, maybe it was under an hour and a half. You got an hour and a half to
Give your
blow.
give yourself 2 hours because you're going to need the extra time to get your mind back in some kind of cohesion.
Actually, that's right. Yeah, give yourself 2 hours. It is a as comical as it is. It is it's comically disorienting. We'll say that.
It really don't go in it expecting anything. Honestly,
No,
as I was telling Demi-Human, like the best way to go into this movie is don't even watch the trailer. Don't know anything about it. And I know that's kind of blowing because you're ruining it or listening to this, but at the same time, I'm hoping our conversation is just as um, incoherent as the movie actually is. That you won't understand what we're saying, and you're gonna watch it.
oh,
It's
100%. I think because the truth is there's like as much as we try to explain it, there no type of discussion or conversation. I don't even think like from an actor standpoint, I don't even think like a room reading could prepare you for the performance that you're going to see from Nicolas Cage. I don't think anyone can like it's not it's just it's something else. It's a spectacle indeed.
we need to discuss how there is literally, I mean literally, not a single extra in this movie. There is not one background pedestrian shown. I mean, this town is so freaking barren. Like, I don't even, it doesn't even make sense what little they show. So there is not, the old lady sheriff doesn't even have a squad car. She has got a pickup. Okay? She's got a pickup. The, and she, and she, there's a trailer park, but nobody's in it. Like, this is the most abandoned this is the trailer park even hurricanes don't touch because it's just so out of the way. Or tornadoes. Like, it's so lost. It's not even, I mean, it's just not, this is way beyond, this might even be so far gone as like, this ranks below Arkansas.
I was gonna say I would be surprised if if I think the name of the town is like Hayesville. I'd be surprised if in this fictional world if you could actually find Hayesville on a map. I don't think there's enough going for the town that that they even deserve to have like a dot on the map.
No, no, they don't. They don't. Like, because there's only the guy who owns Willie's. There's the rundown tow truck guy slash mechanic. He's the only apparently place in town.
Hmm.
Okay, the place is so beat up, I mean, and rusted down. Now, obviously, the ATM is there as fodder bait, but you can tell by the rest of the store and shop that it's just around. He does no real work there. There are no other mechanics or anything running around. It's just him. The police, the sheriff office, quote unquote, isn't even a full trailer in a trailer park. It's like it has to be like the second bedroom that's 2 by 2. Then they both cramp themselves in it. There's like one minuscule little desk, and they're both squished in there to look at each other from across the desk. Her and the young, like, idealistic idiot. Like, I don't understand. And there's so much paperwork all around and clutter, which I can't fathom because if there's nobody in your town, what do you have? Whose paperwork is this? Who are you filing reports for or to or on? There's nobody to arrest. There's nothing. There's not. Why are you so crazy? It's like you're in a porta potty. Their office is a porta potty. That explains. That's the only reason to explain the crampedness of this quote unquote sheriff's office.
Yeah, I legitimately feel like they're just in a broom closet.
Maybe. I don't. There's so many things that will make you question, and yet at the same time, you realize half the fun is the fact that it made you question. But your head will hurt. Your heart will hurt because you watched it. You will feel your brain dying, but yet you won't care. Because the part of you that cared died when you watched it.
Oh man.
know what made Nicolas Cage do this movie. I like Nicolas Cage. I honestly do. I I feel bad that he sunk so low, but I still want to go up to him, shake his hand, and say, I thank you for doing this movie.
I just think this is like, this has to be a prime example of why Nicolas Cage might be the greatest method actor that we've ever seen.
There was no method.
So but that's what I'm
Maybe,
saying.
but no method.
But that's what I'm saying. He's drawn outside of the lines of even being like, he's such a method actor that he decided that he was going to go outside of the premise of an actual method. He went from being a method actor, but for this movie, he became a methodless actor. But
Because he didn't have to act.
he literally didn't have to do anything. He just had to swing at animatronic robots.
If you
That's
remember,
it. And then drink pop punch. Who the hell knows what pop punch is?
Nicolas Cage, but he better. He drank enough of it.
Um,
Let's put it this way. So for anybody who's seen The Force Awakens, you know how Mark Hamill was only in it literally for like 10 seconds at the very end of the movie? There was
yes.
more acting from Mark Hamill in those 10 seconds than Nicolas Cage was able to give this whole movie.
Yes.
Mark Hamill outperformed him in 10 seconds that this whole hour and 45-minute movie was able to do. And yet somehow I would still, if it came down to giving one of them an award for best acting, I'd give it to Nicolas Cage. Be like, you know what, man? You did this movie. You deserve a break. Here, take it. Just take it. I'm sorry. Just take it. You've earned it. You did this movie. Go now. You can rest. Your soul can rest.
He can't get the Iron Man speech. That's not fair. That's not fair. Uh-uh.
What?
I don't know if
Wait, the Iron Man speech? What are you talking about? I didn't say he was Audi 3000.
I, that's verbatim what Pepper said to Tony right before he died.
Oh. That's all right. That's what Tony said about their marriage when he knew he was going off to fight.
You can rest now.
Yep, you can rest now. My work is done. I've set you up to be a single mother. Oh man! All right, no, I'm not kidding. I'm just kidding because I mean, Endgame was just awesome. Tony had an awesome death. I really can't joke about that, except that he was. I think we discussed this before that Tony was more in love with Peter. Pretty sure that's what it was. He's like, "I'm sorry, Pepper. I tried, but I'm going out there to find my true love. I will bring Peter back to me." But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Nicolas Cage and Willy's Wondrous Land. Also, is it me or is it a little disconcerting that he was in there that many hours and he did not eat? All he did was drink those pop punch things. And not to mention, I don't know if you noticed this. This was I thought was gross. I kind of wanted to hurl when he found the pinball machine. First uncovered it. He sat his you saw how filthy that thing was. He sat his
Mhm.
drink down on top of it, which in and of itself, okay, no, whatever. But his drink was opened, and he blew all that dirt right into his
Yeah.
can. And I guarantee you, he still finished that drink.
Of course.
That's gross.
Nothing's gonna stop break time, man.
I don't care. I'm not worried about the break time. Just get another drink.
He,
And I'd still like to understand the mentality of why there's a pinball machine in the kitchen.
yeah, I The only thing that I could think about was that he, like, maybe one of the previous like people that had died in there used the pinball machine to almost like barricade themselves inside.
But there
Because
was no
that's
door.
but
It was
I
in a
don't know.
corner.
I don't know.
They were like, you know what? I'm hungry. I want to play games. I'm just gonna move this in here, and I don't have to move much.
Man,
I mean, the guests are like, "Hey, why is my burger overcooked?" The chef just peeks out the door. Hey, I'm getting a high score. That's a why. I don't know why he had the whole fake Italian Mario,
I don't know either.
but it was awesome. You shut up, but you're gonna die later. This makes about as much sense as the movie does. Trust me.
Would it be worse if they actually had him use that accent, or if he just did,
Oh
or
my
if he went off of
gosh.
not talking?
No, I
Wait,
think it's
hold on.
best.
Has he ever had to do an accent before?
Um,
I hope not.
I don't think he does. I don't think he did.
Okay.
No.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say there's a lot of things that I could see Nicolas Cage doing, and this has clearly expanded it because I never would have thought he'd do this. But I don't know if accents is something that he should
It
ever try and tap
expanded
into.
it. This should have shrank it. If you ever seen Ghost Rider 2, and the scene where he's
Yes.
traveling on the bike having his freak out, and it's like the whole background's just a blur of lights, like Madonna's Ray of Light video, like that, and he's having the freak out transforming on the bike. That was the entire movie. That was 2 hours of that one 10-second scene.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying in terms like as a good thing. I'm just saying that I literally would have never envisioned him doing this. So the premise of what I would have thought that he would have done has expanded for me. I never would have envisioned him doing this, but he did it. And you know what?
When he's popular,
Whatever.
when he was popular and doing good movies, he never would have done it. I don't know what happened to make him
See,
fall like the way he did.
I see. My thing is, do we know that though? Because I feel like I
He
like
went
this.
downhill. No, something happened, and I don't exactly remember what it was. I don't think it was really as big of a deal as it made it, but something happened when he did Ghost Rider 2 that it was just downhill.
Hollywood just iced him out.
I guess now they have regrets. Look who they're stuck with now.
Well, I mean, this isn't the most flattering look
I
for
mean,
him.
I thought it was pretty flattering. It took some real skill not to talk and beat up a rubber animatronic. I mean, and can we also? I want one last thing. Did anyone else notice how he managed to break the handcuffs he was in?
Well, they were zip ties,
No,
weren't
they were
they?
not. No, she told the youngin to cuff him.
Oh, like she actually cuffed him.
I don't see she told the youngin to do it. The young ideal officer. She told him to cuff him, and he cuffed him.
Yeah, I don't know. A part of me still feels like there's something going on with these drinks. I feel like something in these drinks is like it's just causing him to have this like insanely superhuman strength because I don't understand it. I don't.
All I'm saying is I'm glad the Kool-Aid Man didn't show up at the wrong place at the wrong time because he'd be dead.
Yeah, he has no regards uh for any fictional characters whatsoever. He's not if you're not a real human being, you're going to die around Nicolas Cage. He doesn't care.
He really didn't. They just like
Because I feel like even before they attacked him, I think he was ready to destroy him. It almost made me feel like something happened in his childhood where he had a really bad experience at Chuck E. Cheese's and he just took it out on like on all animatronic robots.
It's possibly. It's possibly.
I honestly wouldn't be
I never
surprised.
forgot where Chucky touched me.
Oh no.
This machine never gave me all my
Oh
tickets. I
no.
never could get that beanie cap in the case. Look, all I'm saying is Chuck E. Cheese has its own secrets. But anyway, we're not talking about Chuck E. Cheese. We're talking about its orphan bastard brother. Oh. Anyway, guys, I think we've said more than I ever thought we could about this. I'm surprised this has gone on for almost an hour. I'm really surprised. Like, I mean, the movie is so shallow. I really don't know how we talked about it. But it's just one of those fun movies you have to watch at least once to be like, just to question all of existence.
Agreed.
I mean, out of all, like, just think of the multiverse principle in theory. Out of all the possible realities, why did it have to be ours that this movie was made?
Who knows? Honestly, because I can tell you right now, I've never seen this coming.
That
Ever.
was the beauty of making you watch it. But sadly, you know what you're never going to be able to look at yourself quite as directly in a mirror again because you know there's a part of you that does not regret seeing this movie, and you feel ashamed for that.
No, a part of me 100% feels ashamed for watching this movie.
No,
I
there's
mean,
a
I
part,
watched it. I felt ashamed though.
but there's a no, there's a part of you somewhere deep down. Oh yeah. I mean, you're supposed to be ashamed, but there's a part of you. There's a part of you. You know, there's a part of you that does not regret it. That's what makes you more ashamed. There's a part of you that does not regret watching it.
Okay, so what I will say is that as of right now, because it hasn't been that long since I've watched it, I don't know if I can come to that steady conclusion.
I can. I'll do it for you. I'm telling you right now, you don't regret it. In some small degree, you don't regret it.
Mm, I don't know, man.
I mean, yes, you can name there's other like a bazillion other things that would have been better to do with your time. But now that you've
Uh,
watched it, you'd be like, you know what? It's not the worst thing I've seen. That was worth it. Just to go, what the fuck? That was worth it.
Again, I'm gonna have to sleep on it because I still
I
my bro.
s-
I don't know. I don't
sleep
know
is
what's
fine.
happening.
You're gonna dream of this movie. Nicolas
I'm gonna
Cage be in your movie.
exactly. I'm gonna wake up to the sound of hearing Pop Punch get open, and I'm gonna wake up in cold sweats.
Every time you open a can of soda, that's what you're gonna think about.
I'm gonna get Pop Punch PTSD.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Every time you see a pinball, you're gonna just pinball machine. You're gonna walk up to
Oh
it and start
no.
clapping your hands above your head like hell yeah, like you're doing a salsa dance. Oh my gosh. Watch this movie, guys. Give it a shot. I know I have no problem telling you you all should sacrifice your souls so we can all be together later. But watch it. Watch this movie.
Oh,
It's
for the purpose of having a conversation as random as this, please watch this movie. I promise you, we will all collectively, when we have this conversation, or if we have this conversation collectively, we'll all just be like, I don't get this. And then you might bring up something that's even more random that I don't even think in a million years I would have thought of
It's true.
at all.
But I think that's the key. You're not meant to get this. You're just meant to survive it. That's really what it is. You weren't meant to get this movie. You just had to survive it.
That you know what? That's the new premise of this movie. That's
There
what
you go.
Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage was doing. He wasn't meant to get what was going on. He was just meant to survive it.
Uh, there you go. That is the motto. That'll be the new motto on IMDb for this movie. You're not meant to get it. You're just meant to survive it. Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Car Dreamer,
And I'm Demi-Human.
and this has been our weird discussion for the movie Willy's Wonderland. Oh. Until next time, stay evil.